Okay, we should be live and functional.
Yay!
Hopefully we did things right this time.
But, you know, we can only pray.
Hopefully anybody seeing this at any point didn't see the first attempt at this. But hopefully
So
this is
sorry to
working and
any
you
of
are
the
seeing
10
this.
people. Yeah, so sorry to any of the 10 people who are actively subscribed to my YouTube channel who clicked on just a 45-minute video with no sound. Um, I am an idiot, but that's not really news. Okay, so we should actually introduce ourselves since this is a real show
Yeah.
this time. If you're coming from my YouTube channel, hi, you probably already know who I am, but if you're not and you're coming from Twitch or from any of the other locations that you might have stumbled across this, my name is
Hmm.
Alex.
And I'm Bryn. I hopefully shouldn't exist on the internet. Otherwise, I would like to think I would know if I did. I probably wouldn't.
This is an
Anyway,
elaborate
hi.
bullying scheme where I have dragged Bryn into the public view.
An elaborate bullying scheme where I am running like 90% of this for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so Bryn is my moral support, emotional support, tech support, everything because I'm not a gamer. I don't know how to stream. I don't know how to do hardly anything, but I am a YouTuber and I do like to make content and I like to be annoying on the internet. So it's a collaboration between someone who actually knows what they're doing probably about 70% of the time on the internet in regards to like gaming and streaming and stuff, and me who knows how to make funny stuff but doesn't know how to like put it out there.
I'm here because she needed somebody to yap to.
I mean, yes and no.
Well,
But also
and
I think
also I have a functional computer, so
yeah, I have a Surface, so but also I so what I also wanted to talk about a little bit on this first episode is why we started the podcast as a podcast. Partially because I never do anything on my YouTube channel anymore and it makes me a little bit sad, but also I don't want to do any kind of like high effort content and I feel like podcasting is
mhm.
pretty low effort content. But also I since I've known Bryn have always thought that we are hilarious. And so I was like, you know what, we should record our conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little biased. Yeah.
Okay, technically, in a way, we have recorded our conversations before. Um, and we talked about this a little bit in our first silent film version of trying this podcast thing. But we forever ago had a shared Tumblr where we and a couple other friends um would post just text versions of the random shit we thought was funny that we said. Um I
And you
think
know what?
you were the
Objectively,
one
we
most
still
like
are
into that.
hilarious. Yeah, and objectively, like I went back and looked at that, and we still are hilarious, but we also were 15, and so you know that like 15-year-old brand of humor where everything is a dick joke.
Yeah, and it was a lot of un like uncomfortable to look at now, like lol random humor.
But I also love lol random humor, which is also part of why I wanted to do this podcast because I think we should bring back what is essentially vlogging, where people just talk about their lives and are really boring because everything on the internet now is so highly produced, and I
Hmm.
feel like you miss some of the authenticity of people, which is partially why this show is called like politely parasocial because I was like, let's bring back being parasocial with people who actually shared stuff about their lives instead of just, well, I think I know who these YouTubers are who I've never seen and who definitely have this massive production team working behind them. And it's like, that's not parasocial. That's just being liking a celebrity. Like, bring back true parasocialism where you actually know things about these people and they're very authentic in a way that I feel like most modern content creators are not.
I mean, hey, if production quality is like lack of authenticity, then goddamn are we authentic? Because
Yeah,
who
we're
boy,
winning.
this is really scrungled together. Um like we production quality who a
Don't
I
know
mean,
her.
the fact that we talked for 30, 40 minutes once, with no audio, uh, somehow had like a couple actual viewers during that, and nobody said anything. And then you put this on your YouTube channel, and it got 10 whole views of an entirely silent video, and nobody told us anything. Um,
Yeah,
we're great. We totally know what we're doing, and screw
professionals,
all of y'all for not telling us our audio was broken.
literally. So yeah, I like to think that hopefully my production quality will increase at least a little bit. But the point of this show is to be fairly unfiltered, unedited, just chat about our lives type of
Hmm.
thing.
Especially
Um,
because we are too lazy to figure out how to edit. Well, okay, you
yeah, I
know
mean,
how to edit. I would be
I
the
know how
one
to
to
edit.
edit,
I
and
just
I'm
don't
too
like to
lazy for
do
that.
it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can edit. I just don't like it. Um, there's nothing quite like listening to yourself talk for about 45 minutes and going through every single like tiny little audio blip that you have and correcting it. Nothing makes you hate the sound of your own voice like that.
I'm so glad that you want me to do that if we ever edited anything. I'm so glad you want me to suffer through that. Thank you.
I
Thanks
had
so
to do it
much.
for like 10 years. My YouTube channel is like almost 10 years old now. So
Aw,
actually, it
almost
is
old
10
enough
years
to
old.
drink.
Oh my God. It is 10 years old. Over 10 years old. Sorry, I just realized that. Um,
Wow. Well,
crazy thought.
happy anniversary. It's come back from the dead. It was a dead 10-year-old. Um,
No murdered
wow,
children jokes on this
brought the show to a
podcast.
screeching halt. Great job, Bryn.
So, but anyways, back to the name of the podcast.
Are you sure we shouldn't
The
edit this show?
Yes, I think we should keep it as raw and authentic as possible. But back to the point. So the name of the show is Politely Parasocial because I think we should bring back real parasocialism, but also Bryn and I have a really funny history, which is that we are the ultimate parasocial friendship because we didn't actually meet each
Absolutely.
other for until like 3 years into our like knowing each other.
Yeah, I guess it must have been that long, huh?
Yeah. So it's like a little bit of the content of the show and a little bit of just that is the irony of our friendship.
Mm-hmm. That pretty well describes us being friends. We've
I
known
would
each
argue that we're
other.
still politely parasocial.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah. So, how long has it actually been that we've known each other? Also about as old as your YouTube channel. Almost a decade, I think.
Yeah, almost a decade. So what? I met you in I want to say 20s. Well, I started talking to you. I didn't meet you. I guess it depends on how you're defining meet. I started interacting with you via messaging in I want to say 2016, 2017. No, it had to be 2016
That sounds about right. So,
because I reconnected with um crap. I need to come up with a name for this person that is not their government name.
we met through a mutual friend who Alex had known for a very long
I
time.
had known for 13 years.
And
Yeah.
I met on a so we were both homeschooled, at least for you for a large
Yeah.
part of your life, me for all of my I think I went to first grade, and that is the only non-homeschooling I ever got. But I was part of a homeschool group that did these like um international vacations, like Ireland, Italy, I think they went to England a couple times. They also did like Disney World trips. Anyway, on a trip to Italy, I met who turned out to be Alex's friend. Um,
We got to
and
come up with a name. This is too confusing. It sounds like we're like we just need to like
I don't know, man, you're the creative one. I'm just your tech support.
Minnie, like Minnie Mouse. We'll just call them Minnie. So we've this mutual friend Minnie.
It, if we're sticking with Minnie, okay, sure.
It's close
So
enough in sound that I will not probably make a mistake.
Yes, but also now I have to think of the context of this story through an animated mouse.
But that makes it more fun and less depressing and weird.
Oh, cool. More fun for you. Anyway, so on this trip to Italy, when like I think it was like just high school age, like 15, I think. Um, I met Minnie, and uh, after what like a week of a trip, um,
You
we
guys did the like weird thing that like all 15-year-olds do when they meet when they're like socially isolated and really kind of weird and they're like,
mhm,
what if I date this person who I will never see in person again?
yeah. So once again, I I'm so mad at you for picking Minnie because now I have to think of again an animated mouse. Anyway,
You think this
in
is
the
on
like
you.
cringy like middle schooler, high schooler like dating way, um we heavy air quotes dated. Um and anyway, that is how I met
The
Alex.
loosest definition of the term. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
this person was texting me. Minnie was texting me and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm dating this great person. Like you gotta talk to this person I'm dating because they're so cool." And I was like, "Sure, okay. You're at the time my best friend. Whatever you want, bestie." Um, and then I actually really liked Brit. And so
I'm
then
so glad I
the
wasn't a
irony
disappointment.
and so then, we went through the period of we're both really awkward homeschoolers and we don't have friends. So let's just
So like
continue
who the hell
to
else are we gonna talk to?
right, we're just gonna keep up this relationship because what other friends do we have? But also because the irony of our friendship is that honestly, we really don't have that much in like we like similar things, but we really don't have that much in common.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. And we just kind of like have the right kind of vibe.
Hmm.
So, but when we first met, part of the reason we had bonded was the fact that Minnie did not like musical theater and I really liked musical theater and you really liked musical theater. And so we
I
bonded over the fact that we both really liked musical theater and didn't have
Yeah,
any
musical
other friends
theater
who also
was
liked
the
musical
reason
theater.
that wow.
I was
Well,
just thinking about that because
Minnie,
I was
I'm so
re-listening to
glad
Dear
you
Evan
didn't
Hansen like
like
the other
musical
day.
theater. Again, this is so strange. The animated mouse was like all about like theater and music and such. Minnie, I'm not gonna let this go. Minnie.
Sorry, I was under pressure. And
I guess I
also
did kind of put
like
you under that pressure because I wasn't gonna come up with anything, but I'm still gonna give you shit for
like
it.
I guess we could just full government name this person, but like
No, that's not it. That's not an option. That's not allowed.
but also like I didn't want to. I don't want to full government name people on the show unless they are like people I like. I don't like this person anymore, so let's not. Um, not that I ever think that under any
Welcome to Politely
circumstances that they would
Parasocial, where we
ever.
only dox you if we like you.
I think that's a good standard. But
Oh,
genuinely, like,
sure, sure. We'll talk about this off air. Sure.
but genuinely, like, I do not think that this person, that many would ever watch this show because if
Heaven
they
forbid.
did, like right, but also, like, what has happened to the world and, like, what kind of dark timeline are we in where for some reason this person is now re-interacting with my content?
Okay, you do say
Or,
that,
like,
but
in
part of the inspiration for this podcast was the closest thing to you interacting with them.
what? Explain yourself.
The like Ratatouille moment of you going back to your like middle school self that was Dan and Phil.
Right, but my middle school self that was Dan and Phil started before I like okay, so my relationship with Minnie was that we were friends in elementary school, and then there was a period of about I want to say 5 or 6 years where we didn't talk because I had moved to the other side of the country. Um,
You know, that was probably a pretty important bit of context that we didn't give.
yeah,
In this being a homeschooled trip to a different country, um Minnie and I lived literally 1,000 miles apart in different states, and then in like 1,000 miles the opposite direction is
I
Alex.
live. Yeah.
So
So what's really important is that we all three, when we were all friends, had a parasocial relationship because we were all long distance friends. But I had met Minnie and had known Minnie and like not went to elementary school. We were in the same homeschool co-op, which was like kind of like going to elementary school, but we essentially went to elementary school together. But anyways, there was a
homeschooling is
5 year
weird,
gap where I
and it would take an entirely different podcast to explain that whole dynamic.
yeah. But anyway, so Minnie and I essentially went to the same elementary school. We didn't talk for 5 years. I had some crazy stuff happen to me and when I was like 14 or 15, or like in the year of 14, 15 years old, where I like got completely isolated and I had no friends. But what is important context is that I liked Dan and Phil before I reconnected with Minnie. We just happened to reconnect because of Dan and Phil. But I had been watching Dan and Phil before that. So like I actually was introduced to Dan by my very first high school girlfriend, who I will also not be government naming on this show, and we will call them. I don't know. I'll come up with something later. That's better than Minnie.
What? Donald,
But
Goofy, Pluto?
what's the cow's name? Clarabelle.
Oh, don't do Clarabelle like that.
Anyways, kind of like oddly enough, this person has like I don't know why, but has kind of similar energy. Don't
Cool.
don't
Call your
don't
ex a
ask me to
cow.
explain
All
that.
right then.
No, because like
Insulting to
she
them
she was
and
like
me, the talking cow here.
very tall and like I don't know, curvaceous and I don't know, moved in a very similar kind of manner. But anyways, it was not an insult. It was just like ponder, a ponder. We'll call it a ponder. Anyways, I was introduced to Dan is Not on Fire via this person. And so then started watching Dan and Phil. And Dan and Phil was very much my own thing before it was me and Minnie's thing. But me and Minnie like found each other because we both had, ironically, Tumblr blogs about that. So anyways, Bryn and I still live in very different parts of the world to this day. And so going back to the politely parasocial thing, um, we have met in person, I think.
Four?
And
5 times?
were you getting five? I was about to say three.
Okay, but I know it's more than three.
The airport. When was the second time?
The second time I visited you in Chicago.
Okay, yes, that I remember now. I blocked out most of my time in Chicago, not for you personally, but just in general. Um,
Wow,
and
I
then in
guess it's only
MomoCon.
three. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. So we are the epitome of a parasocial relationship in that we almost really don't know each other
We've known
IRL.
each other for like close to half our lives, and we've met in person 3 whole times. To be fair, 2 of those
Hmm.
times were for like a week each, but also
The irony of the first time that we met in person is that, by
I
God,
I
I hope
just
your parents never
happened
see
to
this.
be in the same state at like to for some completely unrelated reason, and I was like, "Hey, you live here. You want to come meet me at the airport and hang out for a minute between my flights?"
I'm gonna be at the airport that you live 45 minutes away from. Can you like drive to the airport and see me? And I thank God bless my mother for not having, I guess, a bone in her body to be concerned that I was about to get abducted. Um, but she was
Honestly, I
like,
think your mom had the worst outcome of the whole deal because we're pretty sure I ended up getting her sick.
but the
Because I was
funny
on a
thing
plane,
about
and of
this
course I got sick on a plane.
is that my mom literally, I like had told her. So like my mom knows who Bryn is, and I'd been talking
Aw.
about Bryn, and I was like, oh, this is my friend Bryn, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I came up to my mom. There was like not a lot of lead time on this interaction, right? It was like
Mm-hmm.
maybe a day or two. I went up to
At
my mom one day.
most.
Yeah, it might have even been same day. I don't remember. But I went up to my mom and was like, "Hey, can you drive me 45 minutes to the airport so that I can meet with this person from the internet that I've never met before?" the cool mom that she is, and also deeply concerned about me because I had no friends, goes, "Okay, get in the car." Um, anyways, my parents love Bryn, which I think is hilarious. Knowing that they have only met you a singular time.
Yeah. Well, okay. I've met
You're
your
like
mom
my
twice.
favorite
Well, okay. I
facts.
met your mom
Um,
twice, but I did get her sick once. So I don't know. That probably balances out to about maybe meeting once.
but but you are of my friends, you are my parents' favorite.
I mean, not the.
And
No offense.
but
I'm not one to talk. Not the biggest sample size.
like, this also includes all of the people that I like initially went to college with and stuff at my first degree.
Okay, that's true.
It's a
But
much larger
also the
sample
people you
size.
met there were absolute disasters. Each and every one of them.
It's not slander. Let's not. I don't want to government name people. I'm like scared now. I like her though. I mean, you know what? I said we're only gonna dox people. Like, let's not slander Emily like that. She
Okay,
is
to be fair, out
still
of the
on top of
people
stuff.
that I met that you knew then, I barely interacted with Emily, so you know what? Sure.
Speaking
I
of
don't remember what
you
my point
visiting me in
was.
Chicago, I just like completely forgot that you had visited me in Chicago. But the irony of that is that literally not an hour ago, I was thinking about Christian, who I was dating at the time that you met me in Chicago, and who went out
Oh
to
my
dinner with both of us.
god.
Do you remember that?
Oh, I
I
remember
was
that.
literally, I was literally thinking I
The
did just
first time I
government name
ever
that
ate
person. Oh
sushi.
crap!
Great job,
Anyways,
great job. Now our two whole viewers are gonna know this one person's name.
um, we're just gonna pretend that I didn't say that name. Anyways, so this person I was
It's not like it's
dating.
an uncommon name.
No, it's true. It could have been any number of people. Um, Right. Anyways, I was dating. I feel like some important context. I am a lesbian, but I was dating this guy, and I was thinking about this today because I have this habit of collecting people who want to date me, but who I'm not all that interested in, and which makes me sound like mega asshole. I swear it's not on purpose. Like, I think I'm just a very emotionally unavailable person a lot of the time, and I end
And
up
you
finding these
also
people
make
who
plenty of bad decisions.
yes. I mean, I'm not gonna deny that. But I mean, in this specific context, I think it has more to do with the fact that, like, I am very emotionally unavailable, and I tend to, for some reason, attract people who are very emotionally available. And like, this is no shade to these people. Like, it is a me problem completely. I am not gonna like blame them for being very invested because I think that their reaction is probably significantly more normal than mine. But anyways, I was dating this guy, and I was thinking about it today because this person that I had a fling with like a little while ago was reaching out to me, and I was just
um,
thinking about how I'm like,
oh,
gosh,
that
I
one.
really gotta, yeah, I just really gotta like stop attracting people like this. And then I was like, the last time this type of thing happened was when I was dating Mr. Government Name, and
Mr.
I
Government. Wow. Wow.
um
You, you and your nicknames today.
yeah, I'm really pulling out all the stops. But anyways, and when I was dating him and how I will have these things where I'll date these people and then I will have this like come to Jesus moment where I'm like, I can't be doing this anymore. But with him specifically, the come to Jesus moment was when he invited me to his family's massive mansion in like it wasn't on a private island, but it was like on the coast of Florida in like a very wealthy neighborhood. And he goes, "Yeah, so my parents like set up this guest room for you." And I was thinking that it was going to be like a normal sized room. And I walked in and the room was larger than my like entire parent like my parents' entire apartment. It was larger than like it was like my grandmother's living room on the house that she owns. And I
God
remember thinking that this was
damn.
the bedroom and I was like I did not know how to behave for the rest of the weekend because I was like, these people are in a different tax bracket than me. How am I supposed to talk to them? And then I thought to myself, is this how rich people feel being around poor people? Like, how do I talk to poor people? But like, I literally was so uncomfortable because I, like, first of all, kudos to them for like putting me up in a room the size of a house. But also, like, do you know how I'm just gonna say it, how fucking awkward that is to like have your boyfriend that you've only been dating for like a little over like 8 months be like, fly to Florida, my dad's gonna pay for it. Which I was like, ooh, bougie. And then and then I
You didn't
got
tell
there and
me
I was
about
and they're
most
like,
of this until after it had happened, but I do remember hearing about that part before it happened, and that was pretty wild. That was a lot.
this whole this whole relationship was really wild, and it's just proved to me that I could never actually be a sugar baby because the entire thing made me so viscerally uncomfortable. Um,
I would
like the
assume the
first
main
date I
part
went
was
out.
that it was a man, but
No, because the first date that I went out with on this guy, wait, fuck, I
went out
can't
with
talk.
on this
I
guy.
went
Great
out.
words.
I went out with this guy. Went out too?
The
Look,
first date
English is
you
hard.
went on with this guy.
Thank you. The first day I went on with this guy, he paid for me to like take the train up the like long train up to where he was living. And because he was at like a college that was like probably like I want to say like almost 2 hours away from where I was at, but there where I was living at the time had like commuter trains kind of. Um and anyways, and he paid for the train, he paid for the movie, he paid for dinner, and we were at the mall beforehand. And he was like, what you want to like look around before we go to the movie because the movie theater was in a mall. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I went to the Banana Republic and I was like, oh, this is a cute, really, really cute sweater. And he freaking bought it for me on the first day. It was a $75 sweater.
Damn.
And that was before inflation. I just dropped something. um, so that was before inflation. So this was in 20 what 18. So keep in mind that
Definitely before COVID,
not
yeah.
yeah, so that was a lot of money then. Because like $75 now, not that that's not still a lot of money, but it definitely does not have the same spending power as it did in 2018. And so when he was like, first date, let me just buy you a $75 sweater. And the entire rest of the evening I was like, I feel weird. And then the house thing happened and I was like, oh, his dad is gonna fly me down to Florida. And I didn't think that much of it. I probably should have thought more of it. But then I got to his house and like it was a 4-story house with I can't even I have to
I don't
count.
think I've
It
ever
was
seen a four-story house.
with 6 guest rooms and 3 living rooms and a view of the ocean.
Well, now I'm retroactively mad at you for not like stealing something on your way out of that relationship.
I got the $75 sweater.
Yeah, but that was a gift. That's not stealing. You didn't get me anything.
Anyways, I was so viscerally uncomfortable the entire time I was there because I did not know how to interact with these people. Also, he every time I talked to him about like what his parents did, he was ultra cagey about it. Like I think at one point he said something along the lines of like my dad works for a craft food packaging company. And I was like, in
Oh
what
God, no wonder they're
capacity?
rich.
Right, but in what capacity? Like CEO, CFO? Like how are you like buying a multi-million-dollar house on the coast of Florida? They had jet skis, Bryn.
Look, man,
2 of
Kraft
them.
is rich.
5 cars.
They've got that Kraft dinner money.
I could not believe it. But anyways, I was thinking about that because I just he had known me for a little over a year at that point and it was like, I think I want to marry you. And sometimes I have a little bit of
I
regret
forgot
because
about that.
imagine where I would
Jesus.
be if I had married the rich man, but also I wouldn't be paying for school in Japan. Somebody else would be paying for it. My wealthy
Okay,
husband.
look, it's school in Japan. It's not that bad.
But anyways, I think about it sometimes, but for the wrong reasons. And this is the moment where this is where we go full circle and I think about the conversation that I was having earlier today in which I was like I need to stop attracting people that make me feel evil on the inside.
when we
I
talked
keep
about topics for this episode, you did not phrase it that way. You did not say make me feel evil on the inside.
like okay, you have to admit that saying like, "Wow, I should have stayed with that person for their money" is like maybe the most evil thing you could possibly think. Like that's some like TV drama like cartoon villain type of behavior.
Okay, but like look at where the world is right now. More specifically, look at where the country is right now. Like there are worse decisions to be making.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously was not cruel enough to stay with him and do that because I do have a conscience, but like the like the little bit evil part of my brain is like, "Mhm, I could have been wealthy.
Do you ever just
I
look at what you're doing
could have been a
and
rich
like
man." La, 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 la.
do you ever just look at what you're doing and remember the absurdity of it? Like I was kind of like looking around my room while we were talking, and then I look back and I could have been a rich man coming from this goddamn snail. This snail with anime eyes.
That's my vibe. Get with it.
I mean, look, I've been here for the last 10 years. I don't think I'm going anywhere.
God, I need someone to match my freak.
Okay, I don't think I can help with that, but
Yeah. So the other thing, the last thing I'm going to talk about on this show that happened to me today, and I was debating talking about it, but since I gave the whole sort of dating history and had then the things that make me feel evil on the inside, let me just add to that situation, which
hey,
is
real
that
quick, what the fuck is our show about? Because
it's whatever I want to
first
talk about, okay?
hey, I don't have anything to talk about, so that's fine with me.
I said I wanted to be vlogging, which by the way I came up with a funny word for because it's not vlogging because there's no video. It's auding. It's auging. Audio blogging, auging, which sounds like a weird sex euphemism, but I think we should keep it.
Your hmm, your other brilliant words today have been calling a certain person Minnie, and then you went to Mr. Government Name, like you're
I
coming up
never
with a
said I was
Walmart
strong in
brand pit
names.
bull. Um, you know what? We'll circle back on auging.
Anyways, so this person that I had a little bit of a thing with, it was not even really a thing. It was a what I thought was going to be a one night stand and was not. Um,
That's the scariest way of describing that.
that is literally what went through my brain when after said one what I thought was said one night stand. She went, "Would you like to like I would really like to date you. Like, would you like to date?" And being the deeply socially anxious person that I am, instead of going, "No, I'm not really in a place to be doing that right now," was like, "Oh, sure."
Wait,
Uh,
you actually went, sure? Come on.
I I think if I were to quote, it's been
Like
over a year, so
not
I
even
don't
like
remember.
I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Or we can talk about this later. Like sure?
'Cause you know what I'm gonna do naked in somebody else's bed is go, "No, we can talk about this later." That talk about making things awkward. No, anyways, what I
Look, it
had
was her
said, I
fault for
think
making it awkward by bringing it up in the first place.
thank you. You are correct. I
I
said
know.
because I was about to leave and the country to go live on the other side of the world. I think what I said was, "Well, I'm about to leave the country to go to the other side of the world. I don't know that that is a pretty like I don't know if I said it. I don't know that was if that's a good idea
You
or if
probably
that's a
said it
wise choice or something."
a little bit less robotic.
Yeah, I was probably like, "Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea." Like, um, and she was like, "Well, let's just try it." And so I went on a date with her. And then I got back from the other side of the world and I ran into her again. And I was
Oh
like, "Oh
God.
no." Fun fact, I'm still about to move to the other side of the world.
And that's what you get for coming
Why am
back
I
in the
literally
meantime.
living fucking Groundhog Day here? Like, what is happening? But anyways, today I got a text and well, so she only messages me on Instagram because I did not give her my number because at the time that I met her, I was still actively using Instagram, and now I don't use Instagram hardly at all. I still look at it, but not regularly. And I opened my Instagram and I saw a text, and I was like, whoa. I'm not going to repeat what the text said. Um, it's not YouTube friendly. Um, and then I
You're
went,
telling
oh,
me
I
more
don't
about
know how
this
to.
later.
Oh yeah. I went, I don't know how to answer this. I will think about it and answer it later. I went back to answer it because I was like, I have come up with a response to this. It was gone.
What?
She unsent it. And you know, the funny part about
Oh,
this that
yikes. Oh,
Mhm.
no.
So the funny part about this is that, you know, trying to be the respectful, kind person that I am, and there was a previous text from her like, a couple days ago that I did not answer because I was in the midst of reading 3 horrific books for a history class that I had to write an essay on, and I just didn't have time. I literally spent like 8 hours doing that. It was nothing personal to her. I just literally didn't text anyone that day because all I was doing was listening to this horrible audiobook and taking notes. But anyway, so I opened the thing and I responded to the text from Wednesday and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to like ignore you. Like I was really busy, blah blah blah." I gave her an out to just pretend that she never sent the text.
No.
And
No.
she goes, "No, it's okay. I just didn't want to embarrass myself, so I unsent the previous message." I was like
No. Honey, no.
I was like, "No, no, you don't understand. I was literally trying to spare you. Like I was trying to be nice." I and that was the moment that made me think of Christian where I was like, sometimes I think Mr. Government Name, I did it again. Where I'm
God
like,
damn it.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes I think I don't know how to talk to people. And maybe I'm evil. And I had this moment when I was texting Bogsnort about it because Bogsnort is my go-to person when I don't know how to talk to people in relationships because Bogsnort has a much more successful dating history than me. Bogsnort is our other mutual friend that was on the Tumblr blog with us, which we'll have more conversations about later, but not this episode. Um, I texted Boxnort. I was like, I don't want to be mean. How do I respond to this text and not like, you know, and like give this girl an opportunity to not like I'm not gonna acknowledge the unsent message because that's mean, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Boxnort was like, well, are you gonna follow up on the like sexy message? And I was like, no, I was not planning to. And then Boxnort was like, yeah, then just don't say anything. So that's what I did. And then you know what? I was trying so hard. I was like
No.
trying to give this
Tell
girl
me
the
she
space to
didn't. Please tell me.
no, she just literally was like, "Sorry, I didn't want to embarrass myself. I unsent it." And I'm like, "Girl, like I
Oh,
was
thank
giving you the
fuck.
perfect opportunity
I was so
to
scared
just
she was gonna
pretend
bring
that
it
it
up
didn't happen."
again. I thought she was gonna
No,
go for a
no.
second draft.
No, no, no. One draft only, and then I just like changed the subject because I was like, "Okay, let's not
You kept
dwell on that."
talking to her?
She I look, I don't know how to cut off a conversation, clearly. This podcast has already gone 15 minutes over, but like I did not like I don't know. I don't like to be rude to people, which is also why everybody thinks I'm flirting with them all the time. I have that autistic riz of like I yap a lot and I seem like I'm genuinely interested most of the time because I like to respect people and pay attention to what they're saying. Um and people take that as me being very interested when 9 out of 10 times I just am very autistic.
You. I.
I can't flirt intentionally to
We
save my
need to
life.
teach you how to exit a conversation.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a conversation with my therapist about that. It's like maybe I need to work on that. But no, I just like I don't know. I don't I'm not really a person who likes dating per se in general. And so when people want to date me, I don't know how to respond to it because my idea of dating is very different from most people's idea of dating, hence the like mega autism thing. Due to the mega autism thing. And so when people are like, "I want to date you," I'm like, "Cool, that's going to end miserably for you because your expectations of what we're going to do is going to be very different from mine and I yeah." That's always the situation I end up in. And so right now, I think I'm currently in that situation with this person. I don't know how to politely convey that I am not looking for anything at all, but that I do not mind talking to her because I don't dislike her as a person or anything. I have the emotional capacity of a teaspoon at this moment in my life with how many other things I've got going on. I got like
Wowie kapowie. This
I
is
got like that
this is a
that
hell of a
measuring
time.
cup. You know that measuring tool that's like a pinch and it like holds like 3 grains of salt? That's where I'm at with
No,
emotional
but that's
bandwidth lately.
incredible.
Yeah. So that's how much emotional bandwidth I have lately, and I feel bad because it's not like it's definitely not personal to her. It's just that I have like I'm busy, man. I'm a busy ass bitch. I got shit to do all the time. I don't have the energy to be talking to people that are just in it to hook up with me because, I'm not looking for that really, and even if I am, I need to do that on my own time and not be beholden to what other people want. Like, if I'm gonna go hook up with someone, I'm gonna march my silly little ass down to the gay bar, get high and get drunk, and take somebody home. Like, I am
So
in
what
a
I'm
hot girl
hearing is
summer.
you definitely need to learn how to exit a conversation.
Learn how to exit a interaction. Not even a conversation, an interaction. Literally the irony of that whole
And
thing too is that when I was last down at the bar at in my little college town, I was standing around a group of women, one of which who I think was very much of the intention of trying to take me home. And I was cold and tired and I turned to these girls and I said, "I want to go home and go to bed, so I'm going to leave." And then I just left.
you can do that just fine, but you couldn't end the goddamn conversation after she deletes the message and says, "Oh, I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I deleted it." Eh, hmm. How
She
can you
did
do
okay.
something like that and then you keep that conversation going? You you don't make sense to me.
I did not follow up from the no, no, trying not to embarrass myself message. She did.
And then you responded to it.
I'm not gonna be rude. She was asking me about like visa stuff, and I was like, yeah, let me tell you about visa stuff.
You're funny.
Anyways, oh, good.
Hopefully
Maybe
our
we'll get
podcast
views.
is too.
Yeah, I mean, this is again going back to the politely parasocial thing. You guys get this like excellent window into my life of what it feels like to just be the most awkward person on the planet 24/7. Enjoy.
And the window into
Maybe it
my
will be
life is that
relatable.
I listen to Alex have an interesting life, and I'm here.
Provide Mystery Science Theater style commentary on it.
hmm I'm the robot that whose head is made out of like a gumball machine, and I just sit here and yap.
Yeah, but like that's what makes Mystery Science Theater 1000 so fun. If they weren't yapping, then those movies would just be bad movies.
Yeah.
If I don't have you to comment on the soap opera that is my life, then really does the soap opera that is my life have any value? No. The funny things I go through are for naught if no one is going to provide meaningful commentary.
Well, I at least you understand that I'm the most important thing in your life because I give your life meaning by observing it. You're welcome.
Schrodinger's cat, to be observed is to be alive.
That's not what Schrodinger's cat is at all.
Schrodinger's cat, I know what Schrodinger's cat is, but I do think that it's funnier if you think about it as to be observed is to be alive, and
You
less
think it's
depressing on
funnier
whether or
if
not we know
if
the
you're just
cat is
wrong
dead.
about it. We can't start arguing about this when we've already been like 20 minutes longer than we intended.
Yeah, we gotta go because we will yap for 2 hours. Forget 20 minutes, 2 hours, baby. Okay, how do we want to close this out?
Oh, come on, you didn't have to mention that. We didn't have an outro last time. We didn't and we ended up with no audio. You're gonna curse us by mentioning our lack of outro.
Well, come up with an outro then.
I'm not gonna come up with an outro. I'm the one who's holding this stream together.
Yeah. I spent all
To
day
be
today
fair though,
making a
if
Japanese
I leave
resume.
an outro to you, you'll probably start talking about Minnie Mouse again. Or dox somebody else.
I didn't I no last name, but just full government first name. Um I don't know.
Well,
Words are
so
hard.
this is our second first try at doing a podcast thing. Um, if anybody watches this and you have any tips on how to do this better, we are a garbage fire,
We're
so we
here
would
to
take
take
tips.
advice. Yeah. We are open to
Hopefully
any
you
and all
enjoyed
advice,
watching this garbage fire.
any and all constructive advice. Yeah, and if you're on my YouTube channel and you're coming from my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the Twitch. That would be very helpful. Also subscribe to my, I'm gonna do the whole. Actually, you know what? Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do my YouTube outro, so y'all can suck it. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel. And be sure to check out my channel and ring that bell to get more content like this. But also, I do other things besides podcasting, or at least I used to, and probably will eventually, but don't expect any kind of regularity. I do post cosplay content occasionally, and sometimes I post like YouTube shorts because I apparently am 90. But yeah, feel free to leave a
Since when do
comment.
you do YouTube Shorts? Good for you.
It's called re-uploading TikToks, as the entire YouTube Shorts community does. No one makes shorts on YouTube from shorts on YouTube. They make TikToks and then re-upload them because, as I was telling my mother today, there is a hierarchy and it is TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts at the very
People
bottom.
still look at Snapchat. Wow.
Hey, don't
I guess
don't
people
don't
still
be
look at
shading on
dinosaurs in a
Snapchat.
museum.
Snapchat's like one of the only messaging apps that's not owned by Meta and or Musk. So let's not shade Snapchat on the podcast.
Damn, okay. I didn't know you two were so close.
Anyways, feel free to leave a comment of any constructive criticism, don't be an asshole, and any I don't know, tips, tricks, thoughts, feelings, anything weird happen in your life. I'm happy to hear about it. I do actually check my YouTube comments and reply to everything. So,
Look, man, we got 10 people to view the video that was 40 minutes of silence with just our little PNG guys bouncing around. Like, maybe now that we have words, y'all will have something interesting to say. And if something has gone wrong, maybe you'll actually say something this time. Come on.
help us out, guys. All right, I think that's going to be all from us, and we will hopefully try to do this more regularly. That is not on a Friday and hopefully on a Wednesday, but as I said, it was a week from hell.
Hmm.
All right. And you know how I'm going to end my section? Peace out.
Okay, cool, good for you. Hopefully see y'all next time.